Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Red the Mechanic. This is Sleeper Works Garage. Last week we attempted to update the front end on the Toyota. All we were able to do was put an emblem on it because the lights didn't fit since it was a different model year, or the one set of lights didn't fit. And we also put a seal skin cover on it. This week we're gonna be removing the carburetor and re-gasketing it, hoping that it will fix the way the car is running. If not, if it doesn't work out, I'm just gonna go straight to the twin carbs and get those squared away since it is the summertime. Let's get right into it. So today, like I said, we're gonna be focusing on taking the carburetor off. From what I can tell, it's this fuel hose right here, the throttle linkage, this spring back here, this vacuum hose, and then a couple nuts, and it should come off. So I'm just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna get y'all a little bit closer so y'all can see what's going on though. Wow. Did y'all just see that? I just pulled this piece from where the fuel goes in at. I wonder if this was my issue. Well, part of the issue. I know the carb's leaking, but that was literally right on top of that. I wonder if y'all saw that. That'll be good right there. Dude, can y'all see that? Can y'all hear that? The whole carb is moving. Yeah. It's just one thing after another with this thing, yo. Straight up. It was worth a try. Alright, it looks like we've got some issues. This piece has a break in it. I don't know if y'all can see that. See, it's broken and it's pushing this down. So that could be why it was moving around. I don't know. I'm gonna figure something out with this. Real quick, thanks to the subscriber that sent me this box of gloves. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I opened up the package. I didn't even know what it was. I was so confused. I didn't know somebody even sent me anything. But thank you so much for this. I'm about to put some on right now. Alright, so I got everything here on the table. This is everything that I used, and then this is everything that came off of it. I'm not going to take the carb apart just yet because for right now I got to go get my kids from school here in a minute. But I do want to set this all up so that it doesn't so I don't forget how it goes. I mean, I know I got the footage, but I still want to put this in a way that I'm gonna remember how everything goes. All right, all of this can stay in there like that. All right, but this, I wanted to make sure I remembered how to put this back because there's a bunch of little pieces to it. Yes, everything is gonna get cleaned, everything is gonna get prepped, which I should do right now. All right, so check this out. I literally just got this gasket off of the piece that is like this. This has got that broken chip on it. Check this out. Look at this. What am I gonna do about that? What do I do about this? How does that even happen? All right, so I see what kind of went down. It had not been down all the way, this, and there's inside you can see, can you see that? You can see that lip, and look, they tightened the lip before it was all the way down and it just broke it. So that's crazy, bro. And it been like that for a minute. It didn't just happen. You could see all the dirt inside of it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to figure something else with this, or figure something out with this. Maybe epoxy this on and grind it flat. That'd probably be the best bet as far as I can tell. This is aluminum. I think this is aluminum. I don't think I could weld this. And even if I welded it, I don't think I want to. I'm gonna probably call my dad, find out where he got these from, see if I can't order some. Okay, so I just got off the phone with my dad, and he said that these came with the carburetor. With the carburetor when he bought it. They made this carb for only like barely 2 years back in the 90s, and it's hard to find like literally anything for this carburetor. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a 2-part epoxy this guy in, since I still got the piece, and then just grind this flat right here so that it'll seal good. That's, you know, if that doesn't work, then it is what it is. I'm gonna, I guess, see if I can get somebody to make this. There is a CNC place right around the corner, so I might still be able to get this done. Is what it is. I am, though, gonna run a zip tie through here so that I don't lose this piece. All right, so that's that. I'll just keep that there so that doesn't get lost. And then I'm gonna go ahead and clean these guys up. I'm gonna just do it off camera. All right, I got this guy all cleaned up with the gasket surface, and I think like these little nubs right here, you can feel this. See? I think I'm gonna grind those flat, right? So it doesn't have a surface that's capable of wobbling. All right, you can tell, but I've got them all shaved down. All right, just so it's not wobbly. All right, cleaned it off with the cookie wheel. This part's ready to go. All right, I've got to go get my children, so I will see you guys in the next clip. So I ended up coming to my boy's house because I felt a little bit more comfortable with him watching me, since he has more carb experience than I do. And check out his garage. Look at this. Them little dinky tires look crazy on here, Styles. These belong on there. It's my boy Styles with his little boy Ace. So this one's LS swapped, right? The blue one is LS, and then this one's got the 460 in it still. Yep. Hey, this thing is huge. Imagine with the 46s. 46s, right? Yeah. Dang, bro, I ain't seen this thing in a hot minute, bro. With the 1 tons on here.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
So I'm here with this plate, and I'm thinking instead of 2-part epoxy in it, I'm gonna weld it. I got it all set up. I crazy glued the piece back in, and I squeezed it down with a pair of pliers so it's as low as it can be. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put a bead around it and on the side and grind it flat, and hopefully it'll stay. Unfortunately, it's just a flux welder, but I'm gonna turn the heat on max and see if I can't get this to penetrate. If not, then I'm gonna just, I don't know, I'm gonna probably use some 2-part epoxy, but I really wanted to get this to bond. And 2-part epoxy, there would just be too thin of a, in between the two, there would just be too thin of a material, and I don't think it'll stay really well. So I'm about to get after it. Also, camera died on me while I was rebuilding this thing. It is pretty much done. I forgot to put one piece in it because I thought there was jets in the plastic, but it was actually the float bob, which I think that's what it's called. I don't know. There's a little float thing that moves up and down, the brass part, not the actual plastic. And I gotta open this back up and shove it in there because it moves a little bit better than the one that was in. But this guy's all regasketed, all O-ringed up, all ready to go. Alright, so I found out the hard way that this is aluminum, and the little piece that went in there broke. So I put tape on the back side. I put a bolt or a screw that fits in here pretty like snug, and I'm just gonna 2-part fill the whole thing so it actually has a nice thick layer so it'll stick. I already wire wheeled it and cleaned it and everything. So now I'm gonna just fill it with 2-part, and then once it all cures up and stuff, I'll go ahead and grind it flat and run it and see what happens. Alright, man, so here's as good as it's gonna freaking get, I guess, for now. I'm gonna have a hell of a time getting that bolt out of there, but I'll deal with that when the time comes. So tomorrow is when I'm gonna mess with this again. So you can see that it's built up past the point. So I'll be able to shave it down and make it flat. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so this is nice and solid. It's been a few hours since the last time took a video. So I'm gonna try and take this out. I'm gonna like sand this as flat as I can, and hopefully I don't need to fill it with any more. All right, so I got it cleaned up pretty much, and this is like just threading out on its own. And let's see, where is it? It gave me a lip. That's what I was looking for. And I'm gonna just take a block, a 2x4 block, and some sandpaper. Just sand this as flat as I can real quick and see how it comes out. But that's what I was looking for, is that lip right there, and something back here to fill the space. So far so good. All right, so I just went ahead and filled it with more epoxy. My cousin was telling me to just use some RTV, but I'd just rather try it like this and maybe use a thin layer if I'm still having low spots. But since it had a low spot, I just put a little bit more. I'm just gonna drag my razor blade over top of this, and that should be good. I'll just leave it like that. All right, so I'm back here on Saturday with this thing, and it is nice and fully cured. All I'm gonna do is sit here and sand it flat. Have any raised edges, which it feels pretty flat already because I took a razor blade to it. And then we're gonna put this all back together. All right, so I'm to the point where I can stop. All right, this is completely flat minus this one low spot right here. All right, and I just been with a 2x4 block with sandpaper this way and like this, and just going back and forth this way, so it's not getting out of shape. So that's what it's down to. All these little spots are filled in. This is nice and smooth. I'm getting ready to take this little bolt out of here and put it on. All right, so yeah, I don't think it gets any better than that, man. Look, it's got its little shoulder to grab onto. The hole's a little smaller, but I already threaded the bolt into it, and it fits real tight. I could take a drill bit and just make the hole just a little bit bigger. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just do that to clean it up. Matter of fact, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I've got this hole big enough for the bolt to fall through. Boop. But now, I don't know if you can see this, the bolt is raised. So now I have to lower that so it's completely flush. So I'm gonna take a drill bit, a big drill bit, and just drill it out little by little until it's flush in there. Okay, so final fitment. It fits in there, and it goes all the way down, and it is recessed a little bit, okay, which is what I need. So I want to leave as much material in as possible. As you can see, it's nice and thick down at the bottom here. So it's just as thick as those ones, more or less. So that's what it's looking like. This is the final rendering of this thing. It can now be mounted, and hopefully it will do its job. So let's get to the Corolla and start putting the carbon stuff back on. Alright, so I left the dang battery connected that entire time, so it's dead. So I have to do this nonsense again. So if you hear Brunhilde in the background, just ignore her, bro. Just ignore her. We need to get to this guy and start putting this carb on. I'm gonna clean this maiden surface real quick, and then start getting my gaskets, get it all set up. All right, so I'm gonna get this thing ready to get mounted on. So here it goes. All right, it's all mounted up. I still have to hook up all the accessories and stuff like that, but No more wiggling on there. So what I did worked. Okay, so I'm at a point here, right? I've got the throttle cable on. Everything is nice and tight. I replaced the fuel hose because the fuel hose was just breaking apart inside. So I did the supply from the fuel pump, and I did from the fuel filter to the fuel pump. I also pulled the filter off and cleaned it out as good as I could. It just unscrews. And I think I'm ready to put the base adjustment on it and put the filter on. Excuse the wind if there's wind noise. Well, I think I'm pretty much ready to try and turn it on here in a minute. Okay, now everything is connected. All right, I've got my base set here at 1.5, or at least what I think is 1.5 turns. Throttle cable's hooked up nice and tight, you know, where it needs to be. All the fuel lines are hooked up and nice and tight. So now I'm gonna connect the battery and bring fuel up to the top. See what happens. Alright, so I got the cables hooked back up. I was able to get it cranked enough to get some fuel back up here. So I'm about to do this live with y'all. I don't think, well, it hasn't tried to start at all, but let's see what happens. Let's get the fuel up to the front. Okay. We'll go look at the filter. Is it leaking from here? No, it's not. Leaking from anywhere. Oh, we've got a little bit of gas right here. I gotta tighten this guy up. Alright, let me tighten him up. And I'm gonna get the 3 little squirts. Alright, so I'm back with the carb taken off. I took off this fuel hose and it sprayed with a lot of pressure. So I assumed that the float was stuck closed. So I don't know if I had it like this and it was just, I don't know how. So I put the original float bob back in and I'm gonna see what happens because they do look different. You can see that one has 2 holes on top. This one does not. It has like this different shape. So I just put the original one back in because it does move really well. And I'm gonna try it like that because fuel was getting to the carb but not in the carb. And this, if I'm not mistaken, is the on and off switch for the gas to go in the carb. So I'm about to go find this out. As you can see, there's not a drop of gas inside this carburetor, so it had to been that bowl float. Well, not the float, but the bobber for the float. Alright, I got the original float bob back in, and I've got the float put back in exactly as it's supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken. Everything is right now, or everything is at least good. Everything is hooked up except the choke. I hooked this up and this didn't do anything except get hot, so I'm just gonna leave that off. And then everything is hooked up, so I'm gonna try this again. Hopefully this works. If not, I'm gonna have to call it. Okay, so I think I know what was going wrong. This float little thing right here, I had this sitting like this, boop, on top like that, which is how I thought it went. But if I'm not mistaken, it probably goes like this, because I called somebody and they said it needs to be in the middle of this, and I was like, wait, how is it going to be in the middle if this is way up here like that? So I'm gonna try it like this and see if that is what was my problem. I think it was, because if this is all the way like that, no gas is gonna go in. So now that it's up a little bit, it should allow gas to go in the motor. I'll put it over on this side. Mom gave me this like mad long ago, so I'm gonna just put it in there. This one came with the car. Like, son, please drive safely. Son's guardian angel, please travel safely. So I got two now watching me. My daughter made me this out of clay, like that clay stuff that dries when you bake it. My son made this one for me. You guys might recognize this. A little creeper. My son is the creeper king. And then my aunt gave me this. She is super old. Esther. So these I usually put on the signal switch of the fun car that I have going. Like these were in my Z, and now they're gonna be in my Toyota. So these are permanent addition to the car. But that's that. Okay, so I have a really good feeling about this time, but I also had a really good feeling about all the other times. So, but I have an especially good feeling about this time. So we're gonna see how this goes. Let's do this. Bruh. So I got it started just now, literally, but I turned it right off. So y'all gonna be with. Look, no foot on the throttle. It's gonna raise high idle. Yeah, boy. I might have messed with it a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off for a sec. I'm gonna look up quick how to adjust the fast idle. That's this guy right in here. This guy. I'm gonna try and adjust it, because when I give it throttle, the RPMs come right back up when they should stay down. So it starts, it runs, but I need to get the fast idle figured out so that when I give it gas, the RPMs don't stay up. They can just do their thing down. Oh. We got it, man. We got it. So I think that's gonna be it for this video. Tomorrow I'm gonna get somebody to tune the carburetor. Tomorrow somebody's coming in to tune the carburetor, and it should be good. So now it starts, it runs. I can throttle it without it choking out or anything. Yo, I'm so freaking souped, yo. I'm so souped. All because of a simple mishap on my behalf, because I didn't know any better, you know. So like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all on the next one.